Let's go Jay, Mark, and then Rusty.
Jay Pennell with front stretch and all left turns. Last week we saw you give your pit crew over to Kevin Harvick. It didn't seem like you were terribly happy with that. You said it was almost like Kevin was turning his back on the pit crew. And then during the race we saw Kevin and Burton go at it and have words over the radio to each other. Is the sense at RCR now that it's kind of all about Kevin and winning this championship? And do you think that it's almost like a sense of urgency that Kevin has in the position he is now behind Jimmy Johnson and Denny Hamlin?
Well, there's definitely a sense of urgency. There's no question there's a sense of urgency. He's trying to play catch up and run a guy that's just won 4 championships in a row down and knows how to do it, and doesn't make mistakes. I mean, there's definitely a sense of urgency. I mean, we're trying everything we can do to win a championship at RCR. Jeff was trying everything he could do to win a race, and if I would have been up there, I would have been trying everything I can do. I mean, that's just Martinsville. You got to realize that. I mean, we've seen Jeff and Jimmy beat and bang on each other and get very frustrated with one another, and I mean, it's just part of close quarters racing at Martinsville, and it just so happens to be your teammate. I don't think it had anything to do with him racing for a championship or anything else. I mean, it's just nature of the beast at Martinsville.
Do you know if they've gotten together afterwards and talked about what happened? And, what's the feeling in the shop itself about just going forward? I mean, it seems like there's been a little bit of tension. Is that just something that I'm seeing, or is that something that is really there?
Heck, I don't know, man. You're writing a story. You guys pay for. You know more about what we're doing than we do most of the time. I screwed up and wrecked last weekend. That's what I know, and had a miserable week because of it. I'm just trying to get to the end of this thing and hopefully have some good runs for my sponsors and patch things together as much as I can for the end of the year so we can start the year off strong next year.
Let's go over here to Mark and then Rusty.
Clint, Mark Arrow with PRN. Everybody who races here long enough gets in one of these big wrecks. What's it like to be inside one of these, the big one, the whirlwind?
That is the exact moment you don't want to be in the car anymore. It sucks. All hell breaks loose, and you just kind of cringe and hold on, and it hurts. I mean, you hit hard, and you bounce around. And finally come to a stop and be like, what the hell just happened, I mean, it's just one of those things, but that's what makes this, the fans come from all over to be at a place like this and to see that spectacle, and we owe it to them to go out there and put on a show for them.
Do you ever get the sense that it's not going to stop once it starts?
Well, I've had to throttle stick and brake rotors, and yeah, I did have that sense once. It was stuck wide open and the brake pedal went to the floor. I was like, this is interesting.
Let's go Rusty. Mulhern, you have a question? Rusty, Mulhern, and then Jim Utter.
Rusty Bowyer NASCAR Media Group. Of course, I got to look ahead. I know Phoenix is a special track to you, and you always seem to run good on the fast, flat tracks. New Hampshire, recent example. So just your thoughts going into Phoenix.
Well, my immediate thoughts were I just wrecked the Phoenix car at Martinsville, so that wasn't much fun. We're going to have to, bring the next best thing. But Phoenix is a great racetrack for me. It's where I got my start in the Cup Series, and we've always, run well out there. So, again, this is a track I get Shane back. Life will be back to normal as close as to it as possible. And, hopefully this is a place where we can, win another race before the end of the year. Yep.
Mike Mulhern, Jim Utter, Jennifer.
Mike Muller, MikeMuller.net. What would it be like here if they gave points for each lap led, if you guys got an extra point every time you led a lap here?
Well, you'd be talking about a points race all day long, I would say. But, it's hard to stay up front, all day long and be able to put yourself in that position, time after time. Every time you get up there to the point, you've had to make a pretty, close call and go for it, so to speak. And you can only get away with that so many times before it bites you. So, if that was the case and you're, racing for points like that, you're probably going to have that big one happen, a lot sooner and a lot bigger, I would say.
Jim Utter, Jenna. Go ahead, Jim. Let's give Jim the mic. Raise your hand, Jim.
You're really wanting to bang for your buck, aren't you?
Jim Utter, show observer. Clint, if you could put some sort of maybe percentage or something on it, when you're in one of these races, how much do you believe that what you do contributes to the outcome of this race compared to what others do? And as a driver, is it difficult to grasp the fact that you can possibly do everything perfect and still not come out with a good day?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you got to be able to, first and foremost, you got to have a hot rod that can get the job done. If you have the steam under the hood and your car is fast enough to get the job done, you can go up there and put yourself in position to win the race. But you can do everything correct and everything perfect all day long and not come out of here with a win. We've seen it before. When they slingshot by him right there at the end, and leave you out to dry. I mean, if you pull down, if you were leading, coming off of 4 down to the checkered flag. I mean, if the checkered flag was in the tri-oval, a lot of races would be different, but it's not here, and it's just, that extra room on the front straightaway gives them a chance to get a run, get, the thing planed back out, and then they get coming back on you again. I mean, I've had it done to me. You come off in the lead off of 4, with a 2 or 3 car lead, thinking you got them, and then here if it was the tri-oval, you would have them, but they just have that extra track to run you back down and make a move on you, and they come on you so fast you can't block them. If you do, you're gonna be stuck in the fence like Carl Edwards is.
Okay, final question, Jennifer.
Clint, last year's race was so odd, and fans like to say that it was the worst Talladega in years. From a driver's perspective, what did you think of the race?
I don't even remember last year. I remember the spring.
You all stood up in the driver meeting and said,
Yeah. I mean, I think they got to the point, NASCAR got to a point where they were policing it too much. It's something that's almost too difficult to police. Opening the thing back up and letting it kind of self-police, I think was a good move. I think it's kind of taken care of a lot of things, within the drivers, and you still have great racing and don't really have to stick your nose in it or have to worry with that. This is definitely a self-policing place, and I think it should be left within the driver's hands on the racetrack, and I think that's where a lot of the good racing's come from, not only at Talladega but all year long.
Okay, Clint, thank you, and good luck this weekend. Appreciate it.